Hello, listener. This is producer Jeffrey. Step into my time machine. Long ago, beginning in the ancient past of 2009, we made a show called Our Fair City. Now, Our Fair City is a sprawling, epic story set in the dystopian future of Hartford, Connecticut. A climate disaster made the world outside a frozen wasteland. What remains of humanity lives inside in a largely subterranean city governed by the remains of an insurance company. Now, Our Fair City is darkly funny. You'll meet mad scientists, lightning riggers, the woken dead, giant ants, time travelers, and mole people. We are currently re-releasing Our Fair City weekly, so this is a great time to join us for a romp through the tunnels of Heartlife. After today's episode, we'll be sharing a trailer for the show. I hope you'll check it out, and I would love you to join us in our listen of Our Fair City, found wherever you're listening to this podcast right now.
Hey, I'm Arnie Niekamp from the fully improvised comedy podcast Hello from the Magic Tavern. I'm here with my co-hosts, Chunt the Talking Badger,
Bing Bong,
and Usador the Wizard.
I greet thee, listeners.
Look, I'm trapped in the magical land of Foon, so I started a podcast interviewing elves, unicorns, and other weirdos. We have great guests like Felicia Day, Jason Mantzoukas, Brennan Lee Mulligan, Amy Mann, and so many more.
Oh, and I think one time we interviewed a sentient shoe? I hope it was sentient.
Not to mention the evil people we've had to interview. How I hate evil.
Join us as we bar crawl across the magical land of Foon.
Looking for adventure.
Getting caught up in escapades.
Hello from the Magic Tavern is available right now on your favorite podcast app and ad-free and with lots of bonus content on Patreon. Subscribe to Hello from the Magic Tavern today.
Hello, this is producer Eleanor. Today we are taking a little break from our regular bi-weekly release schedule. We're coming up on 1 year since we launched World Gone Wrong, and this is our very first break we've taken, so I'm going to admit that I am really proud of our small team for that. But this week we're taking a little break, and next episode will be out on March 11th. So today, in lieu of a regular episode, we wanted to share with you a taste of one of our member episodes. We put these member episodes out roughly once a month, and we do all sorts of different things. Some are bonus content from Jamie and Malik, some are the creative team talking about shows or movies that influenced us. And personally, I really love doing these behind-the-scenes conversations that we do at the end of each chapter. So, what you're going to hear today is a clip from the conversation that I recently had with Gabriel Urbina and Michael Turrentine about Chapter 4. This whole conversation ended up being about an hour, and we talked about all kinds of things. We talked about the writing process, how hard it is to have a fight with your BFF, and how creepy Lake Superior is. So if that sounds fun, you can get the whole episode by becoming a member. Audacious Machine membership is $5 a month. You get ad-free access to all of our shows, so that includes World Gone Wrong, Unwell, A Midwestern Gothic Mystery, and Our Fair City. And you get bonus content like this for all of those shows. So learn more and become a member either at our Audacious Machine website, which is linked in the show notes, or if you use Apple Podcasts, you can do it directly in the app. Okay, I think that's all. Please enjoy this teaser of our conversation about Season 4. Well, and I appreciate also in Episode 5 an amount of, there is work that's happening off mic that you don't get to hear. That, I don't know, it signals a sort of emotional maturity that these two characters have, that they're like, no, we're doing the work.
Mm-hmm. Which I think maybe is a good segue into talking about Episode 5 proper.
Totally.
The most straightforward, simple, I don't know that there's a lot to mention about Episode 5.
I was like, is he serious? Wait, no.
No, I am not serious.
Episode 5 was a behemoth.
Episode 5 is just one person talking and then another person talking.
Girl,
done.
When we first read that, when we first read this episode, this was another moment of like, how are we gonna do this? Wait, oh God, because it is heavy lifting on both actors' parts.
Yeah.
And also, this was another episode where Hillary was like, "Oh my God, I know the audience is gonna freak out. I don't know how they're gonna react." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna react. This is gonna be fantastic.
The ground is gonna be so unsteady."
Yes. And it was the first episode that me and Hillary directed each other.
I wanted you to talk about that.
Yeah, which was super fun. Since Hillary's not here, I get the chance to say Hillary is a much better director than I am, and she is phenomenal and gorgeous and hot and sexy. But
Look, neither Eleanor nor I will stop you. So please,
all of which are relevant to directing, I hear.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for
Yes.
sure. Yeah,
Look,
directing
as someone that directs can confirm. Yes, very important.
But yeah, it was just such a. Again, props to you, Gabrielle. It was such an episode where like the format was broken, yet we were still trying to juggle all of the plates that were originally in the air and this new plate of like, well, our friendship is still going. Like it was just and doing it by ourselves on mic separately, which was just another actor challenge to keep the ball rolling while also being the only voice on mic is exciting and terrifying and really hard.
Totally.
It feels like this episode does both of you do a really lovely and subtle job of showing up in this episode with this energy that is like, I'm not okay, but I'm still here. Like, this is me.
You show up to work.
Yeah, like I'm
up to work. Yeah.
I'm showing up on a day where like I'm really actually not fine.
Yeah.
So here we go. Let's do it anyway.
Yeah, I think Malik
Totally.
says we're on our way back to okay, on our way back to baseline. And I love that phrase. And I've used that phrase many times since that episode, since I read it for the first time. Which again is like another thing that the show does is giving language to people going through this current world and new phrases that like communicate like, hey, I'm not okay, but I'm going to be okay. And I acknowledge that right now is hard, but it won't always be like this, you know? But yeah, it's just like, I really, truly enjoyed this episode. I was watching, do y'all know Smosh?
No.
It's like a sketch, like they do sketches and improv and comedy online. And they were talking about, it was like a agree or disagree game where like they read off a prompt and like some people stand on this side and some people stand on the other side if they agree or disagree. And one of the prompts was like, friendship breakups are harder than actual breakups. And it separated the room. And I was like, oh yeah, friendship breakups are way harder than relationship breakups. And someone on the show was like, the reason being with relationships, like there's this expectation that like, oh yeah, this could end. But with friendships, you don't really
I
think
was
about
literally
that.
just thinking that.
Yeah.
That, like we sort of think of expectations.
Yeah.
Excuse me. We sort of think of romantic relationships as things that oftentimes don't work out. Whereas we don't think of friendships intuitively as things that might fall apart, even though
Yeah.
oftentimes they do.
And like acknowledging like in a friendship being like, oh, I don't know if we can do that. Like that's hard.
Yeah.
So that was the scary moment of this episode and the episode before where it's like, oh my God, is this a friendship breakup? And this is the friendship. So, you know.
Eleanor and Jeffrey didn't tell you that I had been brought in to write the last 6 episodes of World Gone Wrong.
I'm like,
Not true.
wait.
That's not true.
I was like, we don't have
That's
our
not
jobs
true.
anymore?
He's kidding. He's kidding.
You heard it here first, folks. No.
But also, like, hand in hand with that is the thing of, like, friendship fights, I think, are also really difficult.
Yeah.
Because unlike romantic relationships, there isn't always a script for how you do the healing and the coming back together again. Which, like, the idea that you can have a sort of, like, breaking apart and then a putting it back together again is a thing that I think is really normalized in romantic relationships and really undervalued in friendships. And yeah, Yeah, and I don't know, I really appreciate that here. And frankly, as a person who, like, that has happened to me over and over again in my life with my friends, and the ability to, like, do the relationship work to stay friends is really important, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Gabrielle, do you want to talk a little bit about, like, just as a writer, fucking with the format? Like, I know, I know from working on this with you that, like, this episode was the most challenging to write. And I feel like I loved when you pitched it, this thing of, like, hey, so, like, the number one thing about this show is that it's two people talking to each other. So, like, what if we didn't do that? Yeah. Like, yeah, I don't know. How'd that go for you?
Oh, it's one of those things that makes enormous intuitive sense when you're pitching it. Because number one, I have never met a box that I didn't want to claw my way out of in some way, shape, or form. But number two, you know, it was one of these things where intuitively it felt right for me that you know, at the start of a new year, new calendar year for these people, these emotions about Jamie moving away would finally come out. And it felt intuitively right for me that there would be some complicated, spiky, thorny emotions around that. And it felt intuitive for me that these two people would end up in some version of a fight. And the thing that felt distinctly uninteresting and unintuitive for me was a world gone wrong episode where these two people are, like, in a fight, and they're, you know, they're moody and they're snapping at each other, but they're still, like, doing it and kind of being like, oh, it's okay, whatever, like, we don't need to talk about it. Like, that was just the thing that I was like, no, like, nobody wants to listen to that. Like, I'm not gonna have fun writing it, I'm not gonna have fun listening to it. Nobody's gonna have a good time just going through the motions of being in a fight together.
Yeah.
So the only other solution was they need to be in a fight apart. And so then it was sort of this, like, oh, and that's kind of a new interesting twist into this of kind of how do we then just, like, make it, instead of being a single episode, into kind of this 2 episodes in one where they each have a monologue. And the fascinating thing that ultimately emerged out of it, with a lot of prompting from you and Jeffrey, Eleanor, kudos where it is due, because this was the episode that took a lot of rewrites to get right. The thing that did ultimately emerge was how much, even when they are alone, they are kind of having this shadow conversation with the other person that isn't there.
Yeah.
And I think that you hear it a little bit more in, like, Malik's side of things, where he even at a certain point is talking to himself like there is another host there. But the entire sort of gist of it was kind of this, even when they are so magnetically attracted to each other as the way that they get through this strange world, that even when they are apart, they can't help but be in conversation with one another.
I remember, not to deflect the compliment, but I do remember that one of the things that really unlocked that was when we did the table read of this. Hillary pitched this idea that they had assigned each other the topics.
Yes.
Homework. Yeah.
Yeah, that it was like, these didn't just come out of nowhere. It was like they did it as like a gift to each other. And I think that was a thing that unlocked a lot of that energy in a way that was really cool.
Yeah. And it was a terrifying table read because it was the same length of script as the other ones. But it turns out that when you're just reading a monologue instead of back and forth, things take much longer. And so at the end of it, it was sort of this kind of, oh, this is interesting, but right now it's not quite cohering yet. And also, that took like 50 minutes to read. It was so long. So that was a little bit of kind of a like, okay, we have some work ahead of us on the writing frontier.
But I really like it. It's a good one. And this is the episode that, like, surprise made me cry. Like, there were lots of other places in this arc where I was like, oh, I know this one's gonna, like, get me. But, like, that last moment where Jamie is sort of like, I don't like the moment where her dad is like, no, really, like, I know how much you value this friendship. I was just like weeping listening to it.
Hillary plays it extraordinarily,
it's
and she does this terrific thing where it's not just that you can hear the way that it sneaks up on her, but she plays it like she's doing that intuitive thing where you are reading something out loud and your eye is a couple of words ahead of where your mouth is. And so you kind of hear like the crash of the emotional wave hit her just like a few words ahead of where it actually shows up. It's really amazing. It's really, really wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I just start weeping, you know?
Yes.
No, this
We all
was
do.
definitely the one where, like, Jeffrey sent me the draft to do notes on, and I listened to it, and I just texted Jeffrey and was like, what did you do to me? I was not prepared. Like, I had read the scripts, I'd heard the table read, and I was just like, oh, fuck my feelings.
Trees are shaking, windows breaking. Who am I to tell them no? But I wish that we had longer. I wish that I were stronger. I wish a million things before we have to go.
In this place, once known as Hartford, Connecticut, the wind doesn't howl. It screams. That screaming wind careens maliciously across the vast tundra until it breaks against the side of a monolithic structure. The Heart Life Tower, former home of the Heart Life Insurance Company. Dear listener, these are the true dramatizations of our fair city's glorious history. You will meet the brave bureaucrats that keep us safe and orderly.
Sorry for the confusion. MURDER is actually an acronym for our department. An unfortunate coincidence.
The abominable mole people who dig the tunnels that keep us warm.
They don't exist. There's no such thing as ant people. Mole people.
And the most dangerous villains of all. Scientists.
I swear, I'd forget my head if it wasn't sewn on.
To say nothing of lightning riggers, time travelers, and simple interns, every policy has a story to tell. Join us, dear listener, for the tale of our fair city, wherever you listen to podcasts. And remember, you owe everything to Heart Life. All the life you'll ever need.
Hello, Eleanor here. And I am here to talk about the wonderful new fiction podcast, 2000 and Late. 2000 and Late is a new fiction podcast from the creator of The Bright Sessions. It is a dark comedy that grapples with the havoc of our current moment and tries to find the hope inside of it. The show follows Harper, a 36-year-old nihilist whose life is upended when she's possessed by a demon hell-bent on bringing about the apocalypse. But Harper doesn't want to end the world. And the demon gives her more power than she's ever had in a very long time. So, yeah. I'm loving this show. It's sharp and funny, and it's a cathartic release from the anger and impotence I often feel about the dumpster fire of a world we are all living in these days. It's unapologetically angry, surprisingly tender, and deeply entertaining. I think that 2000 and Late is ideal for fans of Fleabag or Killing Eve, Jennifer's Body, Yellow Jackets, Venom. So, yeah, let's go create some havoc. Oh, and also, Jeffrey worked on this. Jeffrey is the sound designer, and that's also really cool. So please go check out 2000 and Late wherever you listen to podcasts.